Hello and welcome to the Ironvor Coachcast. My name is Alan Harding and I'm joined by my special guest and client, Benny. How are you, Benny?
Good, Alan. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Long time no speak.
Yeah, it's been a couple of hours.
And 9 days. It's been 9 days since our last episode.
Yeah, let's do a little recap for the audience. It has been about 9 days. We were filming on Friday afternoons, and now it's a Monday evening. Life has got in the way, and we've had to reschedule our appointments. So, and we also filmed this earlier today, but the movie was corrupted. So we're going to film it again. So we've decided to do it twice in one day. So if you hear us referring to our earlier conversation, that's what we're talking about. How are you, Benny?
This should be more polished, surely.
It should be, yeah. It should be faster, quicker. Yeah, that's it.
So I think we'll start this one like we did the last one by addressing the elephant in the room. And that is...
What? There's an elephant in the room?
There is a big elephant and it's full of milk. And that dairy challenge that we set last week, 2 thumbs down. In fact, based on Ali's milk purchase yesterday, I think I've probably doubled my intake. So we can unpack that.
Yeah. So milk. All right. So you're having it with tea, aren't you?
Yeah, it's purely tea because obviously not boozing.
So you're just drinking lots of tea.
I did have a couple of glasses of wine in the week, but not boozing. And I'm drinking tea as we pack. So I'm not sure if I said last episode we've just bought a house. So the next couple of weeks is finish work, pack boxes,
packing boxes. Yeah,
we've sold the sofa, so there's no chilling out watching television. It's all go go go. And being an Englishman, a nice cup of tea at the end of the day, instead of a bottle of wine, is actually quite nice. And I have to have it with milk.
Well, coming from an English heritage myself, it's I know how much the tea is a staple of English diet. So yeah, I get you. So I guess tea, I think we talked about tea and coffee and tea versus coffee, etc. last week as well, didn't we? So obviously caffeine is a component of both tea and coffee, so that's what keeps you coming back for more. If we're having milk in the tea, then we're getting a little bit of carbohydrates in there as well. So that will draw you back to the tea again. So the two sort of semi-addictive properties of tea is the caffeine and the milk. Yeah.
It's about 20 ml of milk. And English breakfast tea.
That's not much, yeah. There'd be like a gram of carbohydrates in there, if that, like not even.
But I will have about 5 cups of tea of an evening.
Well, okay, in one evening.
Yeah. I boil a pot, great big pot of tea, and there's about 5 cups in there, and that's my evening ritual right now, and it's what's getting me through the stress of packing. Because if it wasn't the tea, it would definitely be a bottle of wine.
I'd rather tea than wine. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The food is going good. I'm not even thinking about other things. Like I told you in the podcast this morning, but I'll tell you for the sake of this cast. I went to Office Works to get some packing boxes and bubble wrap, and I bought a $2 packet of Honey Crunch cookies, and I was going to give them to Ali to have with a cup of tea, and I didn't even think twice when she was eating them. Wasn't tempted. So it's a big move with the food, but
yeah, that is a good milestone. When you're aware that you're no longer sort of compelled to eat those snacks, that's a good sign. Really good sign.
For sure. It's actually quite easy now with the food. I've got a good routine. If I get breakfast, brilliant. I'll have some eggs and bacon, not have lunch, and then have steak in the evening. If I miss breakfast, I'll go to a little Greek place and have some, Greek kebab meat, which is easy. You can get half a kilo for $13, and it's easy. And I've got my steak in the evening, but I've gone through 25 kilos of steak.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I go through about a kilo of meat a day.
But I've had a lot of steak.
Mm. And we talked briefly about like the economy of scale with like buying half a cow and things like that. So when you're moved and settled in, you can get a chest freezer or whatever, and I can hit you up with the butcher at Mount Torrens, Carnivore.
Yeah.
Or Carnivore. Yep.
They'll deliver half a cow, butchered.
Yeah, they'll deliver half a cow, quarter of a cow, whole cow. You just need the freezer space for it. They deliver, like, they have a refrigerated truck, I guess, that comes around on Saturdays. They do have a retail shop open on Thursday and Friday, so you can go in there and just buy meat from the butchers, so to speak. But it's best to order like 3 weeks ahead. They'll prepare. They'll assign like half a carcass to you. They weigh it, they package it, they butcher it. You can select all the different cuts. I think it works out to about $17 or $18 a kilo, and that's for
good.
but that's for what I think they call it the dressed weight. So that's including bones and fat. That's like, they cut the cow in half, they weigh it, and that's your sort of per kilo price. And then whether you take all they on their website when you order, there's a selection of all the different cuts and like how you want it cut. So you can have it cubed, diced, sliced, steaks, sausages, mince, all that kind of stuff. So you can make a few selections.
Ironvor Carnivore Podcast, sponsored by Carnivore.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hey, I'll hit you up for that number though, because 2 weeks I'll be up there.
Yeah. Well, they're a lovely couple. I've had a chat with them a couple of times. I've seen them at the carnivore conventions, and I've purchased meat there a few times. It's grass fed. They have full control now over the whole life cycle of the animal. So, I'm not sure if they breed them in-house, but from a calf, it's on their property. They know exactly what it's eating. It's grass-fed the whole way through. It's grass-finished. They've purchased an abattoir, I believe, so like the processing plant. So they have, they know exactly who's touched it, who's cut it, what's been put into it for the whole thing, right up to your plate.
Right. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't want to come and help move some boxes, do you?
I could do. I've got my little van. I could come down and give you a hand, yeah.
Mind you were talking to me about the difference between moving boxes and general daily packing, and doing an hour in the gym. Because at the end of the day, right now, I have not been to the gym in 2 weeks, so I'm going to cancel my gym membership this week. But I am finishing.
And lucky for you, you're right around the corner of my gym.
Funny that.
Yeah.
Lucky. But yeah, I will cancel my gym membership. I'll get a weigh in to see how close I've got to the 100 on my scales, because that means I would have gone from, high teens, 119, to if I can get really close to 100, that's really big results.
Yeah. It's a nice round number too.
It is. But I haven't been for a couple of weeks, but I'm exhausted at the end of the day with all this packing, moving, lugging furniture around.
Yeah.
Why don't I just become a removalist? Would that be good for training?
Well, we went over this earlier, but I'll go over it again for the sake of the audience. So when we have this kind of work fatigue, that's because we've been expending energy all day and we're tired and fatigued, and it's not the same as working out. Like some people will say to me, I do a lot of gardening, or I work on the tools, and I totally understand. Like I used to be a mechanic and a mechanical fitter, so I'd spend 8, 10 or 12 hours a day, on a construction site working, and it's hard work, yeah. And you get very tired doing that kind of stuff. And sometimes there'd be days where you'd have like pretty high intensity work, But then other days are just kind of cruising, and there would be no consistency in those high intensity days. Whereas that's where the gym, you can differ, because we can talk about the training philosophy called GPP and SPP, which is general physical preparation and specific physical preparation. So the GPP aspect of your training is like a general fitness. We have, we could run, we can walk, we can lift some weights. We have a reasonably strong gas tank. We could be what we call generally fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have, and your GPP, I should say, could be at a really high level. Like you could be able to run for 10Ks and have a VO2 max of 45 to 50 or something. Like you could be in that high spec.
VO2 max? Is that your metric or general fitness?
I would say it's a pretty strong indicator of your general fitness. I have talked before with other people about the concept of health and fitness. So they're two separate words. And you could be fit to run marathons, you could be fit to be a bodybuilder, you could be fit to jump in the ring at a UFC, like there's fitness fits. You have a Phillips head screw and it fits a Phillips head screwdriver fits a Phillips head screw, a flat blade fits a flat blade. So that's what fitness is. It really is like being fit for purpose. So health, on the other hand, is in a textbook sort of sense, physical health would be the absence of injury, illness, or disease.
Uh-huh.
And then you could have all the other aspects of health, whether it's mental health, because physical health is one of them. Then we have mental health, social health, just like you could have economic health, financial health. There's all these different. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to ask Daniel. So essentially, health and fitness are not the same, but you need general health to be generally fit, and you need general fitness to be generally healthy. But in this GPP, SPP sense, we have general physical preparation, which would be, you're doing cardio, you're doing weights, you're doing conditioning, you're working on your fitness as a broad spectrum. It's all based on body movements and movement patterns, compound exercises, that kind of thing. But then you have specific physical preparation, which would be maybe a thrower wants to have a really good throwing arm. So you could be a baseball pitcher. You need to make sure that you can actually like whip that arm and throw that ball. Or, maybe you're a marathon runner and you just need to be able to run for hours and hours and hours at a reasonable
Well, the good
pace.
thing about this podcast or this challenge was all about nutrition and really benchmark movement. And the fact that I haven't been to the gym for 2 weeks, and even prior to that, once, maybe twice a week, but just having incidental movement, walking to the shops for lunch, packing some boxes, really realistic movement, but just trying to get fit or trying to get healthy through the carnivore diet. I feel like I'm winning. I'm certainly I'm certainly energized. I'm certainly feeling good mentally. My skin is clearing up a lot. I'd say about 60, 65. So if I was looking at how bad my ankles were with the rash prior to this challenge, I'd say we're about 60, 65% better than it was. It's not as angry anymore. It's just skin tone, not dry. So that's really dried up. And obviously it could be to do with the what I'm eating, but also I'm drinking a lot of water as well. So there's two things there.
Those skin conditions can sometimes take months to go away completely, and if it's still lingering around, it's probably the milk that's causing that. So
I'd believe it too. The mental clarity, it's a funny one. When I first start, like the first 3-4 weeks, I felt like my memory was coming back and I was really clear of thought. I didn't other than the first week when I actually had flu, I don't feel like I had keto flu or anything going through that. I think that was disguised by the actual flu I was going through. But
Yeah.
just of the last week, with all the stress going on with the move, I've not felt as sharp
Yeah,
as
that's
I. That
the
could be the move. That
stress.
could be the stress. Mm.
Yeah, so this systemic fatigue, excuse me, systemic fatigue builds up from stress, workload. So if you're, working your day job and then coming home and packing boxes, you've got a million things to think about. You're going to bed late or waking up early, or, do I have to book that removalist? What do I do with this couch? Is the couch booking? When's that happening? Blah, a million things going on.
What's going on?
Then, yeah, your brain is going to get a little bit scrambled. Carnivore, you won't become a superhero and all of a sudden able to manage, 100 things at once. So yeah, take some solace. It's just being human,
When I first did a carnivore challenge and did pure lion for a couple of weeks, I actually felt the what was the movie where they took that pill? Limitless, the movie?
Yeah, Limitless. Yep, that was a good movie. Yeah,
I actually felt like I'd taken a limitless pill because I was remembering things back to my childhood. Energy was just like really clean and really pure. I haven't actually got to that higher state through what we're doing, and it could be because of the milk, it could be because of the cheese, could be
yeah, and
because
you're
of
still
bits of meat. It was just pure when I did it last, pure beef, and that's it. So I don't.
Yeah, because you've been having a couple of glasses of wine and a couple of drinks at work, lots of tea. Like, to be honest, the whole 5 cups of tea every night is a fair bit. That caffeine, because that's probably the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee late at night. So you might be upsetting your sleep a fair bit by doing that.
I'm sleeping well. Sleeping well. And
Well,
that's actually, we haven't talked about that. I'm sleeping very well.
Are you sleeping well, or are you just sleeping a lot of hours?
I'm out. I'm not sleeping a lot of hours. I'm sleeping 6.5 hours because I'm up at 4:44 in the morning to do my meditation routine. But I'm not even waking up for a wee in the night. And when you hit your 40s, something happens sometimes you have to go no, it's not happening. I'm not waking up for a wee in the night. I'm down and up. Which is surprising, seeing as I'm drinking 5 cups of tea of the evening, but I'm out for the count.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, yeah, hopefully it is good sleep and it's not just knocked out. Have you got any sleep tracking apps, or have you got a smartwatch? I don't remember asking.
I do. I don't wear it, though. I don't take too much tech into the bedroom.
Yeah, well, if like my Garmin, for example, it tracks my sleep. Some people nerd out on that kind of stuff. It's pretty good. I always look at the morning report, and I'm interested to see what it thinks I slept like, and sometimes it makes sense and other times not so much. Sometimes it tells me I've had a terrible night's sleep and I feel great, and other times it's told me I've had the best night's sleep for ages and I don't feel like it. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how accurate the sleep tracking is on these watches, but it is it can be good to know because it does show you oxygen levels and stuff.
I didn't look at the oxygen levels when I did it, but when I did the last lion challenge and I was training a fair bit when I was doing that, I noticed the whole REM to light sleep ratio is a bit off.
Yeah.
But I noticed a lot of deep sleep, especially when I was training hard before going to bed. And I believe that's when my muscles were recovering. So whereas, and I might be completely wrong, but whereas my deep sleep might be an hour and a half, and then it's varying between REM and light sleep, I'd notice an uptake in deep sleep for sure. But I haven't measured it this time around.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, what else has been happening this week? Let's do a recap.
Food's been pretty good. Martinis, midday martinis on a Wednesday. Had one last week. Probably have one this week.
Just one?
Yeah, just the one, just for the routine.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good lad.
Did have a glass of red wine on Friday. Put that in the diary. But the food's been pretty good. I'm eating 2 meals a day. Inconsistently when.
We did have a look at your food diary earlier. I won't bother bringing it up again, but I do appreciate that you've got like basically a kilo of Scotch fillet in there every day. That's the main part. That's the the nice fatty red meat we want to see you eating a lot of. So that's good. The eggs, etc. Keep it up.
Lots of eggs.
Just watch out for the seed oils and stuff on those eggs. You mentioned earlier the sesame oil and the chili oil. Yeah.
I made a Korean style steamed egg dish and seasoned it with sesame oil. And obviously you've now told me seed oils I've got to be careful of. Put some butter on it.
Yeah. Yeah, use butter, use tallow, use lard, use all the animal fats, like go hardest on them. But yeah, the seed oils are basically like really high inflammatory responses to seed oils most people have. So, I mean, you can taste it in the chili. It's seed and it burns, right? That's how.
So I've got some avocado oil. Ali bought me some avocado oil. That should be good. I've got some.
It's still like vegetable oils. It's not my preferred, but avocado oil.
I've got coconut oil.
I guess if out of any of them, it's like avocado and coconut oil are probably the nice ones.
Yeah. Okay.
They have a higher smoke point, at least higher sort of boiling point.
Yeah. Okay, I can stick with them. And butter. Plenty of butter.
Yep. Go nuts on butter. Tallow. What other animal fats can we use? There's plenty of them. I mean, I'm not much of a connoisseur. I know, like, if you're struggling with like the flavors and stuff, then there's other ways to make it creative.
I'm not struggling with the flavors. I'm cooking my omelets in the morning in the beef tallow from the night before in the frying pan. Like, the flavors are fine. My problem is finding the time because unless you're making jerky or boiled eggs, there's very little things that you can snack on the go. You got to allocate some time to cook, or just have a block of cheese or a bit of butter. But I haven't quite got to that yet.
I occasionally have a slice of butter as a snack. Like if I'm feeling like a snack, I'll just slice off a slice of butter and munch it down.
Bit of salt on it.
Yeah, you can put some salt in it if you like. I tend to have salt in my water, so I get a lot of salt on my steak and in my water. Like this is, there's probably quarter of a teaspoon of salt in this.
Alan, I would, hand on heart, have, it's a lot, about over 5 teaspoons of salt per day.
Okay. Yep. Well,
I don't sprinkle it in my water in the morning. I maybe should, but I would go through one of the 500-gram salt packets 3 weeks, maybe a month. I mean, I eat a lot of salt.
What type of salt is it?
I've got a few. I've got some Moldon. It's generally flaky crystal salt.
Yeah.
I've got some Himalayan, but I don't really use that. This stuff is just nice, flaky, good salt.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's So when we're going on a low-carb, keto, carnivore diet, and especially if you're still drinking coffee and tea, they're diuretics, right? So when we're on the low-carb diet, we have to up our electrolyte intake because we don't retain as many electrolytes. Mm-hmm. And then if you're also having a diuretic on top of that, then we're losing even more electrolytes. Excuse me. I have to edit out the coughing. So, yeah, we have a pretty high demand for electrolytes. So you can add salt to taste on your food for sure. So I just keep putting salt on until it tastes too salty, you know what I mean? So, and then I have salt in my water as well. But when I exercise, I definitely sweat it out too. So,
but you're training
there's
a
going
lot.
to be a point. Yeah, I'm running 10 kilometers every Sunday at the moment. Yeah, I cracked a PB yesterday. So only by another 20 seconds off my fastest, but yeah, it felt pretty good to break a record.
What's your kilometer time?
I did 10 Ks in 57 minutes and 13 seconds or so. So that's not particularly fast in runner's sense, but it's fast for me.
It's fast for me.
Yeah, I've never been a runner until this year, so I'm still learning my running legs.
Have you got a stride? Have you ever hit the pace where you just feel that you can keep going? I've had it swimming, where I just feel like I could swim hundreds of kilometers and just keep going. But
yeah, now I've got a pretty good pace, about 5.5 minutes, so 5:30 or 5:40 per kilometer. Mm-hmm. is a threshold pace for me. Probably if I go much faster than that, I'll probably just gas out really early. So I'm trying to, because I've got the City to Bay fun run to the 12-kilometre run. I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks. So that's what I've been training for recently. So that pace, that should see me, do an hour and, should be able to do the 12 Ks in an hour and 10 or something like that. So,
are you trying to push for the under the hour? Is that what you're trying to push for?
No, I'm just trying to, it'll be my first run of that distance. I've never been a runner. I've been a cyclist my whole life. So, and motorbike. So mountain bike and motorbike have been my thing. So, running, under my own power and my own legs, that's a different thing for me.
Didn't you do a Tough Mudder or one of those fitness challenges?
Yeah, True Grit. That was 11.1 kilometres. But that's a different kind of event. I did that in an hour and a half. But that was, let's say, 10 kilometres of running on sand and gravel, but with the obstacles. So I think there's 36 obstacles. And then the last half a kilometre or so is just trudging through mud. It's just mud up to your waist. And it's through a creek bed, and you have to go through all these obstacles, concrete tunnels and sliding over and under and, swimming through the mud and all that kind of stuff. So that was heaps of fun, but it wasn't really a strict run. You're swinging off ropes and climbing up things and climbing across rope bridges and, jumping off of tire barriers and all. Yeah, it was heaps of fun. Yeah.
Hour and a half is pretty good for 11 clicks doing all that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was pretty stoked. I got a bit emotional, actually, at the end, because for me, I did it alone. I did it solo just to challenge myself. And that's what I encourage people to do, actually, is to challenge yourself sometimes, Find where your performance is and, put yourself to the test every now and then. And for me, since my injury, that was the first big event that I'd done since I, broke my shoulder back in 2021, and it just completely upended my life. So, it felt really good to finish that. Yeah. And that's the same thing with this fun run. It's going to feel good to finish it, and I'll be happy with whatever time I get.
Are you doing the fun one with the squad? The Glen
Yeah, we are. We're doing it with the gym. The gym is sponsoring, so Anytime Fitness is sponsoring the event, and they have kindly sponsored staff tickets. So essentially, I'll be down there running with the Anytime crew. We'll all be wearing the purple shirts, and we have a bunch of our members running in the race as well. So yeah, there'll be at every distance we have a trainer or one of the staff members taking a group.
Very cool. This challenge was the same. It was just a spontaneous. Let's get your head, heart, and body into shape before the move, and that's why I came to you. So, I've obviously got a bit of an idea. Would you help me be accountable? That's obviously led to us chatting every Friday and Monday.
Yeah, it's important to have goals, and I don't think we've talked much about SMART goals, have we? Have you heard of SMART goals? Yep. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So it's part of the training philosophy that I do with a lot of clients, because we need to have an objective and measurable outcome. And that's what we're doing with you, without really sort of highlighting that. We want to lose weight in 12 weeks and fix health issues, etc. So we've got this loosely fitting SMART goal.
We've got specific SMART goals. We went on with one doing it, and we addressed it last week. Getting to that 100 kilos and under. That's the
100 kilos. Yep.
Goal. Doing it in the 12 weeks. The relevance is obviously to the whole holistic health movement, but we can talk more about that next time we do the scan.
Yeah, looking forward to that. We have a few more weeks now to go till the next one.
Yeah, for sure. So the next week for me is going to be as equally chaotic as this one. Food's no problem. I'm pulling back on the dairy challenge just for the next week or so. But having said that, when I'm in my new place and I've got some rhythm and routine and some comfort around me, I'd like to, and I might plateau by then as well. So it'd be good to go right back to Lion or something for the last 2 to 4 weeks, and just really.
Well, that change of environment could coincide well with a change in the program, so to speak. It makes sense. New house, new kitchen.
New routine.
Yep,
My
new
meat
routine.
fridge is just about to be broken down and cleaned down. All the meat's emptied from that. Have to look for some new stuff. Maybe live off jerky for a few weeks. I did before. I walked the Heiston Trail, which was 1,260 kilometers, and it took me.
You showed me that photo.
7 or 8 weeks. I lost a lot of weight. I reckon I finished at about 87 kilos after that. But I lived off of beef jerky. Biltong. I went to the South African store, and I just lived off biltong for 2 months.
No wonder I lost pemmican. Yeah, I gotta try and make some pemmican one day. I've never had it, but I've heard about it. It's basically dehydrated minced beef, and then you turn it into powder, like you grind it up into powder, to put it in a food processor or whatever, and then a large amount of tallow, get that all liquid. Pour that in with the powdered meat, and create bars, basically, like a big slab, and then you can slice it into bars, and then it's just tallow and meat.
With a very high shelf life.
Yeah, with a really long shelf life. Yep. You just wrap that up in some paper. I mean, nowadays you could put it in Ziploc bags or whatever. Maybe even vacuum seal it. But yeah, it would just last for ages. So yeah.
Well, I've got some of my how many days have I done this now? How many days? 47? 40? something days. So I've got some 47-day-old aged beef that we finally
Yeah.
butchered and cryovac. I'll bring one in on Friday if you want. It's
Yeah.
very fun, very much. I've cut all the pellicle off, cut it right back. It's picanha rump, so it's beautiful marble, and it's really funky. I'll bring you one in on Friday. I'll make sure
Yeah.
you're not going out afterwards, because even though it's cryovac, you need to keep it chilled. But if you want one on Friday, I'll bring one in.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cheers. Awesome. All right, well, that's probably a good spot to wrap it up. I mean, this is we've done all right for take 2. That was a bit different to the take 1. So, yeah, excellent. Well done, Benny. Thanks for joining me again. And thank you to everyone that's watching along at home. Hope you're getting some good info out of this. And, yeah, we'll see you on the next Coachcast with Ironvor. Thank you.